On the morning of April 14, 1912, RMS Titanic was making way at about 21 to 22 knots. The sea was calm and the sun was shining bright, but the temperature was about 3 degrees Celsius or 37 degrees Fahrenheit. In the first-class dining saloon, a church service was held and led by Captain Edward John Smith. The service used was the Church of England liturgy. A lifeboat drill was to be held this morning, but it was canceled as to not alarm the passengers, and it was said to be too windy. For breakfast, first class had the option of eggs, bacon, sausage, ham, grilled mutton chops, rolls, marmalade, jams, and tea or coffee. Second class had the options of porridge, bacon, and bread, and third class had oatmeal, bread potatoes, oranges, or tea. At about 9 a.m., wireless operators Jack Phillips and Harold Bride received Marconi messages from the SS Caronia. It reported icebergs and growlers ahead. This was passed to Captain Smith, who then gave it to Commander Wild. The day before, she had traveled 546 miles at an average speed of 22 knots. For lunch, first class ate grilled mutton chops, veal and ham pie, salmon with hollandaise sauce, ox tongue, consommé, and chicken a la Maryland. Second class ate pea soup, roast beef, boiled potatoes, fresh bread, carrots, cheese, plum pudding, mashed potatoes, and fruits. And third class ate vegetable soup, bread, stew, jams, boiled potatoes, or cheese and fruits. Later that day, more iceberg warning flooded in. The Dutch liner Noordam reported much ice in around the same area as the Caronia reported, and at 1:42 p.m., the White Star liner Baltic reported bergs and field ice about 250 miles ahead of Titanic. 3 minutes later, the German liner America messaged Titanic saying that she had passed 2 icebergs and asked Titanic to relay the message to the United States Hydrographic Office. The first warning was passed to Captain Smith, but the second wasn't. Smith intended to show it to his officers, but took it to lunch with him. On his way, he ran into J. Bruce Ismay and gave it to him. Later that evening, Ismay gave it to 2 Philadelphia women, Emily Ryerson and Marion Thayer. At 7:30 p.m., the wireless operators overheard a warning, this time from the Leyland Lines Californian. Bride delivered this message to the bridge, but it wasn't posted or passed to Captain Smith. This ice lay only 50 miles ahead of Titanic. There was a dinner party in first class in the a la carte restaurant. It was hosted by wealthy Philadelphians George and Eleanor Widener and attended by their 27-year-old son Harry, their friends John and Marion Thayer, and William and Lucille Carter, and Major Archibald Budd, an aide to U.S. President Taft. Also attending was Captain Smith. Second-class passengers sang the song Eternal Father, Strong to Save, led by Reverend Ernest C. Carter, a London vicar. And third class had another music party in the general room. After dinner, the orchestra played in the first-class reception room outside the dining saloon. After saying goodnight to the Wideners and their dinner guests, Captain Smith returned to the bridge at 8:55. He and Second Officer Charles Lightoller talked about if icebergs would be visible on such a calm, clear night. At 9:20, Smith returned to his cabin, saying, "If it becomes at all doubtful, let me know at once. I shall be just inside." Lightoller told Sixth Officer James Moody to calculate when Titanic would reach the ice. Moody later told him they would encounter him by 11 o'clock that evening. Lookout Archie Jewell told his partner George Simons, "You can smell the ice before you get to it." At 10 o'clock p.m., Lightoller finished his watch and was relieved on the bridge by First Officer William Murdoch. Also, Lookouts Jewell and Simons were relieved by Frederick Fleet and Reginald Lee. Murdoch asked the lamp trimmer, Samuel Hemming, to close a hatch on the forward well deck, as there was a glow coming from it. Any light would make it harder to see the icebergs. Several miles away from Titanic, the captain of the SS Californian had stopped his ship for the night in the middle of an ice field. He had asked his wireless operator, Cyril Evans, to warn other ships about the danger. Operator Phillips on Titanic bluntly cut off Evans, saying, "Keep out. Shut up. Shut up. I'm working to Cape Race." Californian's operator then shut off his system and went to bed for the night. The iceberg lay only 45 minutes away, directly in front of Titanic's path.